Hey everybody, Eve here, and today I'm going to focus on a subject that's a little bit icky, and it's where to potty in your tiny living space, because you have a lot of options, and I prefer a certain method over all of the others for obvious reasons. I think it's the cleanest method. I think it's the most odor-free method and cleanest method, as well as being the least expensive potty method. So we're going to delve into that today, because there really are a lot of potty methods in living tiny and living in tiny spaces. And with my cheat sheet already, we're going to explore some of those. So, and like I said, the reason I'm going to focus on the non-water methods is because I consider them to be the most clean and odorless methods available. So, without further ado, I'm going to actually show you my potty method. And what makes my potty method unique is because, based on my tiny square footage, which is 80 square feet, I had to kind of still have the plague, folks. Thank you, you know who you are, for giving it to me. Not funny. Based on my square footage, I kind of had to improvise, if you will, to create a system that would accommodate my tiny space, because I had a Potty system, and that's a system you can purchase at Walmart, where you actually purchase a 5-gallon industrial bucket of some sort, and then you buy what's called the Potty-Loo, which is like a traditional toilet seat that just clicks on to that industrial bucket. First you line it with some kind of, heavy trash bag liners or whatever liners that are available to you, based on the size. You base it on that, and then you put those in on the industrial bucket, and you click the toilet seat lid on, and then you go, or you add your animal bedding in the form of Cedar Shavings. Those are ideal because you can get huge bags for like under $10. And depending on your source, whether it's Walmart or Tractor Supply, you might even be able to purchase a huge bag for under $8, and it lasts forever. I mean, mine's still going strong, and I paid under $8 for mine. So then when you do your business, you take the lid off, you pull that lining out, and you seal it up really nice, and you dispose of it just like you would any other form of human waste, baby waste, children waste, senior citizen waste. It doesn't matter. It's all waste, and it's all disposed of in pretty much the same manner, whether it's a diaper, whether it's kitty litter, because you have cats as well. Waste is waste, and it's all disposed of pretty much the same way. It's usually put into some sort of, receptacle, trash can. Some people have incineration options. That's not one of mine. So getting back to my system, I'm going to show you the system I devised for my tiny space. And because I'm not able to move the camera, I'm going to bring my system to you. I purchased what's called something that kind of resembles an antique a spittoon. And I line it with trash bag liners, and the particular trash bag liners I buy are the smaller ones for the kitchen bag, traditional sized trash can, kitchen sized bag liners at Walmart or Kroger or Publix or whatever, shopping store, convenience store is available to you. And I purchased this at Hobby Lobby, and it's my favorite store to shop at. This is a really small, but the reason I chose it, and this lid was purchased at a secondhand or thrift store, and I measured it. It's about the size of a small kitchen plate, and it fits, and that's how you contain this. And I have my shavings, my sawdust shavings, which is traditional animal bedding, you know, lined in the bottom, and then you do your number. And because this has this spittoon shape, this really soft circular ridge, it's very comfortable to sit on. You know, you don't want to just go buy a bucket and sit on it, because that's going to cut into your skin. And that's the reason you can buy an industrial bucket and buy the Potty traditional toilet seat top, because it will allow you to sit on that industrial bucket with a modicum of comfort, and that's the purpose of that. And so that's why I liked this particular. Let me get rid of this lid for a second. I'm going to set it on the floor, because I don't sit it on, you know, the bed or anything, because that's just nasty. And like I said, this is just an old spittoon type, and I've got it lined with multiple layers, because this is relatively thin plastic, and you might opt for something a little heavier gauge, and then you wouldn't require as many layers. But I use a lot of layers because I have tons of these anyway. I shop often, and then you put whatever amount of sawdust or, you know, cedar shavings, animal bedding, what have you, in the bottom. And then what I do also is I try to keep the urine and the poo separate, because it's when the urine and poo get mixed that you get all that odor. And so it's a good idea to, when you just urinate, you know, when it reaches a certain level and this starts to get a little bit heavy, you know, fold all of these bags up individually, tie them at the top. Then when you have 4 or 5 layers, when the bags are thin like this, then you seal them up. And I have a trash bag, a bigger trash bag that's lined outside of one of my windows. And then, and it's bungee corded to my rig, or my tiny home, my tiny space, my tiny living quarters. And then I just toss it out that window into that receptacle, and then every few days I take the liner out of that larger receptacle and put it into an even larger trash receptacle that then gets taken out once a week to the road, where waste management disposes of it once and for all, and I don't have to worry about it. So that is my system. It works for me. It's tiny, it's portable, it's clean, and like I said, keep the poo separate. When you decide you want to poo, I throw another bag on top of this, or I just empty this and put another bag, you know, set it up all over again, do the number 2, and as soon as I do number 2, I don't know, a lot of people might be able to sit for hours or days with this in their space with poo in it. No, I am not one of those people, and no judgment, no judgment. If you want to, you know, poo and sit with it, babysit it, you know, entertain it, if you will, that's fine, that's fine. I'm not going to do it. So, and then like I said, I have another little, I keep this right next to my Potty. I have another container that has my cedar shavings or animal bedding in it, which happens to be cedar shavings. And then I keep my TP in this little basket. It's just a simple little, sweet little IKEA basket. I think it cost me like $11-12. Well worth the investment. And I keep, you know, paper towels. Excuse me. Oh, hate this. Trying so hard to get well, and it's difficult. It's difficult because so many sick people. And keep a TP, extra TP. Always keep lots of paper towels, because paper towels will help you too to wash up. And you might even want to put those cleansing cloths, you know, the wet towelettes that you can use for when you potty too, because things can get messy, and you want to keep yourself really nice and clean, as well as your space nice and clean and odor-free. We're getting, you know, at the end of the day, you want to keep things as odor-free as possible. So now I'm going to refer to my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything. So there are lots of other options besides this DIY option that I showed you, you know, finding a receptacle that is comfortable and can suit you. There are other composting toilet type methods out there. One of them is called Nature's Head. That's a real popular one, but it's a very expensive one. So the benefit of using a method similar to the one I just showed you is cost. It's cost effective, cost efficient, affordable, as well as odorless. Water methods, the reason I'm not discussing those is because to me, water methods water method toilets, water, number one, is so heavy. It's so heavy, and depending on your rig, especially if you're mobile and moving around, like staying on Bureau of Land Management, BLM land, RV camping sites, certain RVs have black water tanks, gray water tanks. All of this stuff involving water gets really convoluted and confusing and mind-boggling, and I just prefer not to deal with any of that at all. It's just so easy to use dry systems. There's less weight involved, there's less labor involved, there's less complications. Like if you have black water systems or water systems, there's a huge problems to dumping this waste. And whenever you have a water system, then 9 times out of 10, it's the poo and the urine are mixed, and the smell is atrocious, and I don't even know how anybody can deal with those methods. Now, don't get me wrong. In the future, I do plan on adding a gray water system to my existing space, but it will have only to do with water having to do with washing my face, doing dishes, and what's considered gray water. There will be it's not a waste, no waste, human waste will actually be part of that. It'll all be having to do with how I wash dishes, washing my hair, washing my face, having a system where I can have actually running water instead of the water that I have to bring in, the distilled, purified water that I use, and I have to physically bring it in 1 gallon jugs in order to do my dishes and cleanse myself and wash my hair and things of that nature. Totally different system still yet. So, and it's something I look forward to doing in the future. But right now, I'm quite happy with my dry water systems. Let me check my cheat sheet here to make sure I haven't missed anything. Yes. So the Portaloo, which it can be purchased at Walmart or self-created, it's just so easy and customizable. So there you have it. All you need to have a dry poo system is your particular receptacle, whether it's a DIY or a Portaloo or a porta potty system that is purchased elsewhere. It doesn't matter. You can go to Amazon, you can go to eBay, you can look at all of the options available in your local area, and you'll need the cedar shavings or animal bedding of some kind. Some people can use sawdust even. Some people like kitty litter. I don't like that option. Just don't. The cedar shavings are just so nice and clean and excuse me, and because of the fact that they have their own odor, which is very deodorizing, it's used as animal bedding for a reason, that it's used for all sorts of rodents, like hamsters and mice and other animals, including horses and goats and, lots of animals, because cedar is a natural repellent to insects and bugs, and it smells really nice. And if you don't like cedar, then you're going to have to explore another option. But that's another reason I advocate that. And then you'll need your liners, and that's it. It's really, really, really quite simple. Easy on your resources financially, easy on your body, easy on your rig. It's just easy. It's just an easy system. I really like it. And like I said, I live in less than 80 square feet. And people come in here all the time, and I ask them, honestly, do you smell anything? And they're like, no, it just smells like essential oils. It smells really fresh and clean in here. Well, That's important to me. And it has to smell, my environment, being so tiny, has to be fresh, has to be clean, has to be functional, it has to be affordable. So until next time, while you're here, please thumbs up, comment on, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And while you're subscribing to my channel, be sure to ring that bell to receive future notifications to my video uploads. And in the meantime, may Christ bless each and every one of you most abundantly. And this is Eve, over and out.